Yummy. Yummy.
Now, it's time for The Guys Next Door. Brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. With Ron Arenas and Pastor John McClain.
And welcome back. This is The Guys Next Door. I'm your host, Ron Arenas, with our special guest co-host, Janae Arenas.
Oh, thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Yeah, we're breaking the rules of The Guys Next Door.
Yeah, they allowed me in the treehouse.
The coolest couple in Tucson, what I like to say.
Well, thank you. And that voice that you hear on the other end of the microphone, that's Scott Tilley from Trak Ranch.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, how you doing, Scott?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. Can you bring the microphone a little bit up to you?
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. All right, fantastic. So, tell us about Trak Ranch. What is Trak Ranch?
Trak Ranch stands for Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids. We're a local nonprofit. We've been impacting the Tucson community for about 17 years. Our mission is to strengthen kids and community through our animal interactions. But we literally have a program for everyone, from your 18-month-old to our seniors. So just because we have kids in our program doesn't mean that we don't deal with adults. Our ambassador program is kind of a really cool program where you might have a young lady who may have lost her father the year before. They'll come in and learn about the animals. She'll become a handler. And then we go out to assisted living homes and memory care facilities where she'll be able to give back and be a part of that growing process in helping herself be part of the community. And then on the flip side of that, our memory care clients, I really see a great improvement with them where they have an activity where they can get out, get around the animals. And the cool thing about the memory care is a lot of these elders that are in these care facilities have grown up in the ranch type setting, so they have many stories to tell. So I kind of get jabbed by the elbow by the caregivers saying, hey, what did you give him? What's in the Kool-Aid? And really it's just that animal interaction. He'll get really excited that the kids are coming, and he'll want to get up, clean himself up, wear some nice clothes, and head on down to the courtyard and visit with the kids,
right?
And the animals, and then he'll tell one story after another about the goat that rode in his dad's pickup truck, and the chicken that rode on his mom's shoulder, and the young lady that's there. She may have lost her father the year before, and mom is elbowing me in the side and basically breaking down in tears, saying, this is the only thing that worked. We've had her in front of a therapist for years. And, just to have a place for these kids to come, learn about the animals, they really grow substantially in the time that we have them there. And then just that giving back to the community, that community service aspect, it's life-changing for them. And it carries on with them through their adult life as well.
Okay. How did Trak get started?
Well, if I can be honest, it was my crazy wife's idea.
Oh, did you hear that word, crazy?
Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. It was my wife.
This is recorded.
I know. She's going to hear it. No, but this is my wife's, basically her brainchild. She has a special ed background. And when the economy tanked in 2006, I was running a boarding facility. And she actually boarded her horse at my facility, and she said, hey, what do you think about doing this? Because we were going to be shutting the boarding facility down. Hay prices had went through the roof at that time, and people were ditching horses all over the desert, and it was just a really bad time for everyone. And she said, hey, do you want to do this program? And initially we were just going to work with folks that had special need or some special challenges. And so we started at the property that's right across from Castle Hill and the Gregory School.
Oh, okay.
And we started, the property was really run down. Weeds were really tall. So we cleaned the property up And TEP happened to be replacing all those power poles down Craycroft years ago. And I said, hey, what are you guys doing with these power poles? And they said, well, we have to take them back to the yard, but if you have a truck and a trailer, you can use them, and they're free. So we built the whole property out of telephone poles over there.
Oh, wow.
And as you can imagine, being across from two schools, elementary and a grade school and high school, I had a lot of parents that were dropping in as I was building fences and cleaning the property up. Hey, what are you guys doing? And so I would tell them, and they would get real excited. I'm like, well, I wish my kid could do that, but they don't have a special challenge. So before we even opened the doors, we had to change our business plan to accommodate everybody in the public and the community. And 17 years later, I can honestly say it's been a huge success. We still continue to grow, and the fingers that we have out in the community, we collaborate with a lot of other nonprofits in town, from children's groups to behavioral health groups to the assisted living home to our veterans.
Awesome. And some of the services that you offer, I know that you offer riding lessons.
Yes, we do offer riding lessons. That's one of our fee-for-service programs. We do have a few fee-for-service programs. Our riding lessons, birthday parties, a little Buckaroos program, which is a hand-led horse ride for those children that are under 8 years old. But we also offer animal-assisted life skills, equine-assisted learning, and these are more of our therapeutic programs.
Okay.
And those we have scholarships for. We also do camps where we get a lot of inner city kids from different organizations. We've worked with the homicide survivors to do equine therapeutic work, with the veterans for equine therapeutic work, first responders. When COVID happened, a lot of the mental health programs basically went to telemed.
Right.
So it really just upended those programs for us.
Yeah, you didn't have that hands-on.
Well, people were, seeing their therapist at home,
On Zoom.
from the comforts of their home.
Yeah.
And I think still for a lot of people that is better for them in a lot of ways. But I'm starting to see those things are starting to come back, where I'm starting to hear from the veterans that they want to do some groups and some different children's groups that are starting to come to the ranch. So things are starting to open up that way. I don't know that world is ever going to change, because I think a lot of people, if they have a real problem, they're a lot more comfortable talking to you from their own couch than to go see someone in a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
But what I seen at the ranch with the kids and the society that we mainly deal with is that they get outside, they're around the animals, they're doing some ranch chores or brushing an animal or whatever. They'll talk with you a lot more freely than they would if you were sitting in an office type setting.
Yeah.
And sometimes you really don't even have to lead the conversation. They lead it for themselves. And I think really the cool thing about us is we guide our clients, but it's their picture to paint. We want them to come to their own solution as to their therapeutic reason why they're there, or why they're there in the first place. If it's just a matter of getting a horseback ride, or if you're bringing your grandchild to ride a horse for the first time, or to collect eggs, or to hold a rabbit. So I think the real thing that I like to toot our horn about is we call this our Trak magic. And really, once you get to the ranch, that's when the magic really happens.
Yeah.
So.
Scott, to circle back on the senior care, or the senior, I would maybe call it quote unquote therapy. What are the benefits, or what kind of program do you offer for seniors, in the sense of, is it more like working with the animals, or I mean, what does that program look like?
So basically, our senior program, it would be, it would just depend on each client. We kind of cater a program specific for each individual because no two people are the same, and it would really just be a matter of what your goals are, or your family's goals are, and I've had somebody that's been in their mid 70s that wanted to just go on a horseback ride, but they were, scared, and really nobody in town wanted to give them an opportunity to ride because of their age.
Right.
And then one of the other things that I've kind of found that was very interesting thing for us is we had put out an article some years ago about a weight limit on how to gauge weight to the horse, and we were basically like the foremost authority on that. I was really kind of amazed and shocked. But the older generation, I think a lot of times they just want to be around the kids. And so when we take the kids to those assisted living homes and stuff,
Just the interaction.
with the kids and with the animals, because a lot of times,
Scott, we're running out of time. How do people get a hold of you?
you can call us at 520-298-9808, or you can go to our website. It's Trak Tucson. That's TRAK Tucson.org.
Well, thank you for coming on with us. It's always a pleasure.
All right, thank you, Ron.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.